Welcome to my channel Karma Romance Stories. Please like, subscribe for more videos.
My sister smiled like the decision had already been made. Mom stood beside her without saying a word. They believed my house was now their house. They believed I would never say no. I quietly picked up my phone and armed the security system. I turned on the doorbell camera and left the house. 2 hours later, my phone lit up with one message: Intruder alert. Police dispatched. What happened next changed our family forever. I never imagined that the biggest betrayal of my life would come from my own family. For years I was the responsible one. I worked long hours. I saved every dollar I could. I skipped vacations. I drove an old car while everyone else upgraded theirs. Every sacrifice had one purpose. I wanted to own my own home without depending on anyone. When I finally bought the house, my mother hugged me and said she was proud. My sister barely looked at me. She joked that I finally had enough space for everyone. At first I laughed because I thought she was joking. I was wrong. A few months later, my mother called and asked if she could visit for dinner. I happily agreed. Family dinners had always been important to me. Mom arrived with my sister and her husband. Something felt different. They were carrying folders. After dinner, my sister looked around the living room and smiled. "This place will be perfect for the kids." I asked what she meant. She looked directly at me and said, "We are moving in Friday." Mom already agreed. For a second I thought I had misunderstood. Then my mother nodded. She said, "Your sister needs help and family should always share." I explained that I loved them, but this was my home. I had worked for years to buy it. My sister laughed. She said, "Stop acting like you own the whole place." I quietly replied, "Because I do." The room became silent. My sister stood up and accused me of being selfish. She claimed she had already started packing. Mom said I should not embarrass the family. I refused again. They left angry. The next morning my phone exploded with messages from relatives. Everyone said I should let my sister stay because she was family. Nobody asked how I felt. Nobody asked why she expected my house without permission. 2 days later, my neighbor called. He said strangers were measuring my front yard. I checked my doorbell camera. It was my sister and her husband. They were pointing at my garage. I called my sister. She calmly said, "We are just planning where our furniture will go." I reminded her that she was not moving in. She hung up. That evening I changed every access code. I updated my alarm system. I enabled instant police dispatch. I never expected to actually need it. Friday arrived. I went to work like normal. Around noon my phone vibrated. Front door motion detected. I opened the live camera. My sister was standing at my front door with boxes. Behind her was a moving truck. My mother stood beside her smiling. My sister pulled out a key. It did not work. She tried again. Then her husband started forcing the door. The alarm activated. A loud warning echoed through the house. They froze. Instead of leaving, they kept trying. Seconds later, my phone displayed another message: Intruder alert. Police dispatched. I watched everything through the camera. My mother suddenly realized the police were coming. She started yelling that this was a misunderstanding. My sister kept insisting she had permission. The officers arrived within minutes. They separated everyone. The first question was simple: who owns this property? I emailed the deed directly from my phone. The officers checked my identification. Everything matched. Then they asked my sister for proof that she had permission to enter. She looked at my mother. Mom stayed silent. There was no lease, no written agreement, no message from me, nothing. The officers explained that forcing entry into someone else's home without permission could have serious legal consequences. My sister became furious. She accused me of humiliating the family. One officer calmly replied that the only person who called the police was the alarm system, not the homeowner. That sentence changed everything. They could not blame me. Technology had recorded every second, every attempt to unlock the door, every conversation, every movement, every lie. A week later, several relatives called to apologize. They admitted my sister had told them I had already invited her to live with me. That was completely false. The security footage proved it. My mother visited alone a few days later. She cried. She admitted she believed my sister because she never imagined anyone would lie about something so serious. I accepted her apology, but I also explained that trust once broken takes time to rebuild. Months later, my sister finally rented her own apartment. She never apologized. She simply stopped calling. People often ask whether I regret installing cameras and an alarm system. My answer is always the same. The cameras did not destroy my family. They revealed the truth. Sometimes the strongest protection is not a locked door. It is undeniable evidence. Because when emotions disappear and stories change, the recording never lies. That day I learned a lesson I will never forget. Boundaries do not destroy families. Entitlement does. The alarm protected my house, The cameras protected the truth, and the truth protected my future. Sometimes saying no is the bravest decision you will ever make.